Good morning. Welcome to the Ice Bath Daily 48. Today we're going to talk about law number 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait as necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack. You hold the cards. So, I've been trying to think about what I'm going to talk about on this one because I don't really do this too much. But there are 2 points here that I can definitely talk about for sure that I do. But I wouldn't really say they're like conniving or anything. So they're more just like general business tactics that most people probably already do anyway. But first, let's go ahead and jump in our 40-degree ice bath. Get that thing going. 3 minutes. Oh man. Okay, so lure people to you. So I don't really lure people in to try to get them to do what I want. But there's 2 things I will talk about. One is contracts. I always keep my contracts in a state of jurisdiction that I have the upper hand in. So it doesn't necessarily mean where I am. Depending on my company, different states have better jurisdiction because I'll have a better outcome should I have to go to arbitration or fight for it. So that's one thing, and that's kind of easy. So if you're in whatever business you're in or whatever you're doing, any contracts you sign, check the jurisdiction of wherever that contract is going to have to be upheld and make sure that it benefits you. If it doesn't, fight for one that does. I'm in a couple different lawsuits with a couple different companies. It happens pretty regularly. Lawsuits don't happen to me, but I'm saying lawsuits in business happen regularly. And then the jurisdiction of those contracts take place. So perfect example, I have a big one going down in Puerto Rico. Well, actually, it's federal. And I made it federal because I knew down there they're connected like crazy. All the judges, they got them in their pockets and everything, so I'd be screwed. So therefore, I made sure that it was a federal jurisdiction. Other ones like crypto. So the crypto company, we don't want New York jurisdiction because New York hates crypto. So we will use either Puerto Rico, Wyoming, or even Nevada or foreign completely if necessary, depending on the company and where it's located, what's going on. So jurisdiction of your contracts definitely helps. And that's one way to get them to come to you. Another way where we wouldn't really say it's bad, it's actually, in my mind, a good thing to bait people, is right now we're currently trying to hire someone in a really high-end sale, like a high-position sales role. So we need someone to really come in and almost become a third partner in one of our companies. And so we're like, hey, let's bait them. We need someone good. So we're putting equity on the line of the company. So not only does the person get a great salary and all the other benefits, whatever, but we're baiting them with a vested interest in the company. So every year they earn interest in the company. I wouldn't really say baiting because, like, we want them to have interest in the company, right? Like, we want them to be successful. We want them to partner up with us eventually. So I don't know if I'd really say baiting, but it technically is. So that's another way. The only other thing I would say is that this is very similar to, it's not the exact same, but it's something I figure I'll talk about because I always tell people this all the time. So you can use this strategy when talking about negotiations. So whenever you're negotiating anything with numbers, I always tell everyone, never give your number first. Always get a number from them first. No matter what you have to do, get a number out of their head first. Because you never want to shoot yourself in the foot in negotiations and start out lower than they would have gone right out of the gate just because you didn't know what they were going to say. Let's say, like, oh, we're going to negotiate, it's going to be $100,000. And you're like, dude, $250,000. Okay, fine, we'll do it. Okay, we'll let you go up to 105 or whatever. And you just lost out on a ton of money. Always get a number from them first, no matter what you have to do. Hold out. Just be like, look, man, I just don't give my number first. I just straight up tell people, like, hey, when we're doing negotiations, like, oh, well, we're waiting for you. It's like, sorry, like, we don't. Like, that's just our company policy is we have to get a quote from the client first. That's just how we roll. Now, there are absolutely times when we have to give a number first, like when you're responding to an RFP and RFQ and you have to give a quote and all that kind of stuff. But even then, I try my damnedest from the inside to find out what the real number is. What's their budget? I will do whatever I can to get the number out of their head first. So that, I think, is a huge, huge benefit that a lot of people kind of just gloss over, is in any type of negotiations, whether it's personal contract or whatever, if you can get a number out of their head first, you have the upper hand right out of the gate. So get a number out of their head. I think I'm done here. Yeah, we're over 4 minutes. I can't feel my feet. It's cold. Let's get out of here. So that's my interpretation of law number 8, is to get them to come to you. Use bait if you have to. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you definitely have the upper hand if you get them to come to you, if you get them to give you that number first, if you get them where they need something from you, you have the upper hand. That's where you want to be. See you guys around. Later.